the LGBT voice to the parliament, which I'm showing on the slideshow now, I thought this was a joke, but this came out about a year ago. I heard rumours about an LGBT voice. You know, they were getting quite jealous of the fact that the Aboriginals had a voice to the council. Now we're looking at a situation where they want to have a direct voice to the parliament for LGBT community people. I think this completely, it lacks transparency with regards to how these people are elected. The idea of the council is so that they can inform the government and have like an extra ability to reach them. Topher, what do you think about this? I mean, this is, to me, I was shocked when I saw this.
Well, two things straight up. First of all, if every single major corporate and every major political party is on your side, you're not the one who's oppressed. Right? Stop playing the victim. Stop pretending like you need extra representation, like you should be looked after and mollycoddled in some special way. But secondly, it's no surprise that they seized a religious symbol as their own, because this is the rise of a new religion. And we actually, to see the origin of this, we've actually got to go back about 4,000 years to the worship of Ishtar in the land of Canaan. And you can see it in other expressions. The same spirit of Ishtar was exhibited in Venus. It was exhibited in Aphrodite and these other gods that were worshipped by other cultures. But fundamentally, this feminine god was actually all about transgenderism. It was all about this exactly the same culture that we're seeing here of same-sex attraction, transgenderism, these sorts of things. What we're actually seeing right now is not the outworking of a secular liberalism. This is actually a return to an ancient religion. This stuff happened thousands and thousands of years ago. We have it recorded in the Old Testament and other historical books. We know that it happened then, and it's actually coming back now. But I want to put to bed one very, very pernicious question. A lot of people ask, is transgenderism sort of nature versus nurture? Is this something that's in our DNA? Is it actually in us? So do we inherit it from our parents, or is it, sort of a social contagion that we get from societal inputs? And I think we've actually finally proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that transgenderism is conclusively inherited from your parents. Because studies have actually shown that you are 10 times more likely to be transgender if your mother has blue hair. Right.
Makes sense.
I love that.
So it's definitely inherited.
It is inherited, yes. I want to add to that. For me, it was all about the fact that, okay, you are LGBTQI, whatever you are. Why in God's name are we putting children at risk of this and putting it in front of their faces? One thing is when it's behind closed doors, if I'm heterosexual, I'm not going to go and flaunt that in front of a child. So when you're looking at where the schools are at, they've got rainbows in schools. My council has a rainbow driveway, and I am very tempted to go in there and say which colour represents the heterosexuals, or just, have about 100 people turn up and say, I don't feel represented, so should I stop paying my council rates? And at the same rate, you've got diversity, equity and inclusions. Where's the heterosexual inclusivity?
Yeah. It's shocking. This whole thing about the voice and the LGBT voice, my worry, and Craig, you might have a better insight to this with regards to government, my worry is the very active, particularly leftist groups, similar to Get Up, they really try to stack these organisations on their own.
Look, you can see that in Canberra. Just have a look at all these bureaucracies in Canberra, completely stacked with left-wing ideology. And it becomes almost like this cult that you have to try and get up the tree of the public service somewhere. You've got to actually bow down to all these things, And you see you see some of the salaries that are involved in public service today. You forget going out into private enterprise and trying to work and create real goods and services. Right? Get into the public service, climb up that greasy pole, and that requires you to bow down and pay homage to all these things.
Yeah. No, I looking at these things come through, I really worry about it. If we could go to the very first video I've got there. One encouraging thing I see is that a lot of kids are actually rebelling against this particular thing. Even mankind rebels against God. Of course they're going to rebel against their own government. This is a kid basically stamping on the flag. If you don't mind playing that one more time. That's from a friend of the podcast, Elijah Schaefer. That I do believe that's in Lithuania, where a kid was handed a rainbow flag and he's just stepping on it.